Hello everyone, I am Itai from the RoboRoos East FLL team, and today we're going to be moving to a whole new category, curves. The idea of what we're going to do today is essentially just how to get around an obstacle, but it does this highly effectively. Instead of the 2 or 3 turns we'd have to make to get to a position on the other side of an object, we can do it in one fluid movement. This is what we call TurnRadius. So what do we want to do? Here's our robot and the circumference of the circle want to go across, with a radius of r. To move the robot, we control its wheels, which to achieve the movement we need to move along one circle each. Now we know that the speed of the robot is the average of the speeds of the wheels. So if we mark those speeds by S1 and S2, we have the formula S equals S1 plus S2 over 2. We also know that for the two wheels to cover the same part of circles, the ratio of their speeds must be the ratio of the circumferences of the circles, which is the same as the ratio of the radii. Hence, we have S1 over S2 equals R1 over R2. We now need to find the radii. For that, we measure the track of the robot, which is the distance between the wheels. We know that the radius of the outer circle is the radius of the middle circle plus half the track, and the radius of the inner circle is the middle radius minus half the track. So we get S1 equals R plus T over 2, and S2 equals R minus T over 2. Now if we substitute into the previous formula, we get the formula R plus T over 2 over R minus T over 2. And solving down, we end up with the formula S plus or minus the speed times the track over 2 times the radius. So before we make the block itself, we'll need to create the track, or the distance between the wheels. This will be used later on to get the right ratios between the middle of the robot and the wheels themselves. Remember the robot configure block we made last time? That's going to come in handy again today. What you want to do is to go into robot config and create a new variable called track. Now, the easiest way to measure the track is to measure either from the middle of one wheel to the middle of the other, or you can measure from the inside of one wheel to the outside of the other. For now, we'll just default it to 10. So now to create the actual block itself, you want to create a track read, and then create an advanced block with the formula from before, just written out in a way that most students can understand it. So that would be B times A over 2 times C. And just plug the track into port A. And to do the plus or minus part, just do an add and subtract and put this into port B of each. Then create a tank and set it for on, and put plus or minus in each of these, and then plug in the main motors variable. Oh yeah, and here you also want to have it be times A over 2 times C in brackets. And you'll also want to put in the direction, because we're going to choose if it's clockwise or counterclockwise, which way we want to go. So yeah, so just add a times D there and change the brackets, and then just plug in your main motors variable here. And yeah, take that out and put the subtract there. So now you've got your basic, what we call basic grad motor. So just make my block called basic grad motor, and set to move tank and give it 3 inputs: speed, radius, and direction, and give each one an icon. Now you're going to use that for radius, and we're going to use the slightly curved arrow for direction. And so in port B of the first one, and in port A of the plus and minus, you want to put the wanted speed. And in port C, you want to put the radius, and in port D, the direction. And now we've got basic grad motor, but we never tell it when to stop. So that's what I'm going to do. We're going to give it an end condition. We're going to create what we call TurnRadius. which will turn around the circumference of a circle until it's facing the wanted angle. So the way to do this is you can create a turn calculation block, as well as a compare for greater than or equal to. Plug this in here and set it to 0. And put in a switch and set it to logic. And pretty much what this is going to test for is it's going to test if turn calculation is positive. And if it is, we can use what's called a constant and set it to 1. And then create another one and set it to -1 in the other part of the switch. Then outside of the switch, you want to make a basic grad motor. Sure. And then you can do a funny trick with the switch, where if you take this out and put it into the direction, you can also do this, but instead of putting it out there, you can actually plug it into this double thing. And what that's going to do is whichever outcome is correct. So if it is positive, it's going to give you 1. If it's negative, it'll give you -1. So then after this, you want to create a loop with another turn calculation and a absolute value maths block and a compare for less than or equal to. And set this to logic. Plug that in here. Yeah. So all this is going to do is it's going to test if the turn calculation is less than a certain number. The absolute value is there, just that we don't have to worry about dealing with negative numbers. Then outside of the loop, you want to create a mirror steering wheel tank and just set it to off. Then set this to wired and create a main motors variable in front of it and plug that in. And so now that you've got this, you can select over and turn it into a my block called TurnRadius. If this actually connects. Yeah. So I turn this into our my block called TurnRadius. And give it the icon. And then you want to create 4 inputs. Speed, radius, angle, and accuracy. And then just give them the wanted icons. Angle and accuracy. And then click finish. And now plug in the speed to the basic current motor. And same with the radius. Then you want to plug in the angle into both of the turn calculations. And then you want to take the accuracy and plug it into the second part of the compare. And so that's pretty much it. So now you've got a block where all you have to do is give it a speed and radius and angle that you want to face and how far off that angle you can be. And you've got a movement that'll help you get around an object easily. So thank you for watching and see you next time.